All right, everybody, away we go. Welcome to today's call. It is Friday. I don't need these. Friday, August 7th of 2020, and this is the TRC Sales Training call. And we have a bunch of telemarketing calls lined up. But like I said at the beginning of the last call, I'm looking for some conversation about the outside sale as well. The idea here up on the board behind me, we had a good mastermind this week where we talked about effective marketing and telemarketing. That's what this is. I had a couple of people say, I don't like the name telemarketing. You are telemarketers, and we are marketers when we give listing presentations or buyer presentations in the field. There is no sale until there's an actual contract for the purchase and sale of a property. So everything up until that point is marketing. So you have to understand that sales and marketing are really combined and they connect. And you have to understand that where you are in that continuum matters. So it's ironic, we call it the sales training call, but we spend most of the time teaching you how to market through your mouth, talking about, on the phone or face-to-face, what services you have to offer somebody and why they should consider doing business with you. And then once they become a client, the sale begins. And so, there are processes that we have to go through. I'm fresh off of the field today again, extremely busy out in the field, actually trying to consummate the sale. And I can talk, about the process that I go through as a salesman, not a marketer. Prior to that, it's all marketing to try to get people to be interested in the services. So we need to always make that clear so that when we go to these telemarketing calls, that's what this is. You're not selling anything. You are marketing the value of delivery of information. And then you better be aware that you're marketing the value of the insight that comes from the agent who comes out there. When the agent comes out, you're marketing the process that you will take them through, and they have to accept that before they become a client. Okay. You could technically call that a sale when they become a client and they make a firm agreement to be with you. But again, the sale in this business is all about the selling of the property. And that doesn't really begin until you're in the field showing a buyer properties, or you're in the home showing properties and getting offers going back and forth. That's when the true sale begins. And there are a lot of subtleties there. And I'm surprised I don't hear from a lot of you outside sales agents every week on this call. It's the telemarketers who bubble to the top. You don't bubble to the top. And I'll guarantee you there are thousands of things you don't know yet, right? Because there are things I don't know. And I've been doing it for 21 years, thousands of transactions, whether they're mine, my agents, or coaching clients. There are a lot of subtleties, and that builds an intuitive approach to this. And that's what I'm going to begin this call with, is that all you telemarketers need to begin to develop your intuition for this process. You're going to have to understand that when you get, on the phone with somebody, you have to be listening and your intuition has to be speaking. You get too black and white and check the box, you're missing things. Too many of you are kicking the can down the road, not really knowing what's happening, right? That's not acceptable. And it needs to be fixed here. But that continuum goes all the way from telemarketing to in the home or in the field marketing to actually working with the client in the field and getting into negotiation and the sale happening there, okay? And then holding the sale together, making sure you're going through all of the steps properly with the home inspections. I expect to hear a conversation from you. If you're a buyer's agent or a seller's agent, whatever, you're just an outside sales agent and you have been invited here on the inside of the TRC by your team member and you're sitting here not asking me questions, I'm going to find you and I'm going to root you out because that's not acceptable. This is my time given to you for free so that you can ask questions on behalf of the team leader who pays for that service. And they expect you to show up here and be trained by me. So I expect you to come to the forefront. So there's your butt kicking today. This isn't like some shrinking violet, like sit in the bleachers program. We want you to be, right, Gail? Effective, period. And if you don't know what you're doing, you are not effective as you could be. So you need to be talking about questions, throwing me things, because I know you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. Michael Gerber said that to me. You don't know what you don't know. And that's why you're always trying to learn, okay? So I'm resetting us here today, saying I should be hearing from people, right? All right, let's go. Kleba, are you on with me? Heather, either one of you? Kleba, Heather, anybody on with me?
I know Chris was showing houses so he may not be on the call.
Okay, good. So Heather, one of the things that he and I talked about is that, again, you come from a background of being a real estate agent. And one of the things that we hear, I'm going to be listening for this, and I just want to be transparent right up front. He thinks you sound apologetic on the phone. And so one of the things that we talk about in this program is the law of authority. And Rebecca, before you and gosh, many others sounded like they were apologetic on the phone. This is a very difficult situation where we're coming in, especially with this competition for expireds. You're coming into somebody's life, interrupting them. You should never apologize. You should say in your heart, there should be a real reason for that interruption, which means you have information that really, really, really matters to them. You've curated pictures of properties that sold in their price range, a little above, a little below. You've curated a plan that Chris uses. You're putting those things together and you are delivering that. Now, I know in spite of your experience as a real estate agent, you don't know that because I know nobody teaches that. So I want to start over again with you and saying that is the right way to be anything in this business, to have a plan. On the wall behind me, we talked about this at the mastermind level yesterday, that at the very core of this is the fact that we actually have put together a 7-step plan for sellers and a 6-step plan for buyers. So training is what we're doing here. I want you to think differently about the value that you're expressing. I do not want you to do any of this on muscle, because when you do and you're unsure, it comes across as apologetic when you interrupt somebody. Does that make sense so far for a base? That's to everybody, but I have you in the hot seat today. Does that make sense to you? Okay, good. So we're going to listen for that tone together, you and I, and we're going to dissect the offer, all the while me trying to get you attached, because I discovered this. It was too far down the road that I discovered it with Rebecca. She did not believe in the information, and that's a training issue. So I'm going to lean in right now with you and everybody else. We must believe in the information that we are about to offer this seller, that the plan is what makes us unique, and it really matters. And then when we throw the properties on top of it that are relevant to them, it begins the process of providing information that is beginning to be customized for them. You must fully believe and understand in that. And I would tell you to read this booklet 3-4 times, asking questions, mark it up, look at the cloud CMA or the CMA you do, and understand, is this information that's arriving that I'm about to offer to them, is this really valuable? And if it is, why? And if I don't feel that it is, or I kind of make up from my own experience what I think is, we have a problem. And that's what we need to train on. So here we go with the first call. Let's listen for any kind of apologetic tone.
Hi, Nazim.
Yes, speaking.
Hi, this is Heather Riley with the Premier Team at REMAX. I'm calling about your beautiful home on Tompkins Knob Drive.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm calling because I saw the home and noticed it didn't sell, so I'd like to send you something that will help with next time. May I do that?
Okay. Yeah, please do.
Okay. And can I confirm your best mailing address?
It's a 1460 Tompkins Knob. Yeah, this is a physical address.
Okay, I just want to make sure you live at that same property address. Sometimes people don't. So it looks like a really nice property. Why were you trying to sell it?
So we just we decided to sell it, but then we had some physical, some family, circumstances. So we changed to basically hopefully next spring or the end of this year.
Next spring or the end of this year?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Would you like to talk to somebody to go over everything that we do to list a home so you're prepared?
As of now.
Okay, stop. Okay. Was it not bad on the first beat, but where are you going here? Where does it say that? See what I'm saying? This is where you're snapping back to sort of guessing. Why?
I don't know. I guess I was trying to look forward to ask the appointment.
Yeah, but we have it very, very well.
Actually talk to somebody.
Yeah, but we have it very well scripted out for you. So why not stay to it? What were you thinking here? Did you have the script in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I actually printed it bigger. I don't know, Danny. I can't answer that.
Yeah,
I just went into.
Yeah. See what I mean?
A lot of times I just go into naturally talking
And
and
de-
realtor mode.
and
I can't help it.
well, you can
I'm
help it.
trying.
Yeah. Well, you
Right.
can help it. The worst thing you can say is I can't help it. And that's exactly the problem with bringing that old realtor baggage that we all have into a new situation. So stop and make yourself feel uncomfortable by actually reading it, because you're doing fine here. Now, my notes are, all right, you're pausing a lot. So there's a lot of pauses in the beginning, but you actually stick to it. And you have that Jersey way about you where you're not shy. I like that. So you just kept going. I thought your tone was good. I thought your pace was good. I certainly, it's just clean up on aisle 5. There's a little bit of sloppiness in that, but you stuck generally to it. I'd give you an 85 out of 100. So a B, solid B for sticking to the first beat. You were there. And you get the yes on the first beat, and you can go right to confirming the address. You actually catch yourself being a little bit off because you're like, well, I wasn't supposed to do that. I was supposed to say, is the mailing address this? You catch yourself, you fix it, you get it done. And then you just take a hard right into the woods, right? You're right in between the guardrails. You bounce up against them a little bit. It's perfectly fine for a rookie at this, and you're effective. That big word up there today. You're effective. You get a yes. You even get the timing because you ask that question. And again, the fumbling with the words is because you're not used to it. But don't say, I can't help myself. That's an absolute statement that is absolutely the problem, right? When we make absolute, I can't help myself. I can't stop. If you say that, we've got a real problem. But the truth is, the evidence is contrary to what you just said, because you do just fine in the beginning. And you've never learned that stuff in the beginning. So how could you in one breath do it 85% early on, and then in the second beat claim you can't do it? Makes no logical sense. You follow me?
Yes.
Okay, because you do it. You do it just fine. And then it's an F on the second part. It's an F, right? And I have to give it an F because it's really nebulous. And it's just, would you like to? You don't even know the value in it. That's my job, to train you in the value in it. So when we go, let me see if I have a value ladder back here. Can you see my screen? Are you online, or are you just on a phone?
Yes, I can see.
Okay. Can you see where my hand is right now? See where I'm pointing? Okay. What happens is he got a yes. So you've actually prospected him. You moved him up to an acceptance of the information. You're beginning to turn him into a real prospect with real timing. Excellent. End of the year or the spring. That's real timing. That's acceptable timing. You've done the job and he's accepted this. But what you don't have an attachment to is what you're offering next. That's the problem. Okay. And you're also not, and again, this is my job. So this isn't a chastising. This is saying this is my job to teach you this. So, and I think Paul's is the best. I always leave over in my studio here, Paul's. This is the package that goes out the door. Okay. And I want you physically attached to this because that's the info. And then what happens next? When they get this, they are going to get an instructive letter that tells them what's in it and how it's helpful to them and what they should do next. It was built to live on its own, okay? The next thing they get is really, quite frankly, what they want, which are the pictures and details of properties that sold around them. And Paul just uses a regular printout, nothing fancy, but it's the pictures and details of what sold around them while they were on the market. So that's very, very helpful information that they can do something with. And then lastly, instead of some blah, blah, blah marketing piece, it is actually the 7 steps, the step-by-step guide plan on how to get your home sold, how to properly prepare for it, okay? So this in and of itself could almost be classified, Heather, as a do-it-yourself package. If somebody knew how to add insight to this, they might be able to do it themselves. But the huge value of the good real estate agent is that we are able to come in and add our insight to this information once we see their property, once we understand their circumstances. We are able to react to it and say, with this information I gave you, here's what I think you should do. Here's what I think you should not do. And here's how I would help you navigate this this whole process, because the next level up on the value ladder is if you become my client. Let me put some words up here too. I will show you how to. Okay. That's the service. So as we go up this value ladder, they're nothing more than a conversation. And if you cheat the process we've learned from, you can't properly keep them in a spot where they can properly identify themselves. And you did great. Even a B does great right up to here. And you got the information secured. What you missed was because you're rushing and you're not reading. And I want you just to read it in the beginning because you have a conversational tone. Wonderful. I'll call you next week to make sure you got it. And you're rushing and you're getting nervous and you're diving into something that you're not quite ready to do yet, which I would expect because you're brand new at this. So you get into this and you're reading. Oh, and after he says, after we see this big break here, is I want you to finish the beat. Finish the beat. Okay. And so that is great. I will call you next week to make sure you get this incredibly valuable information so that over the next 6 months, while you're getting ready, you can properly prepare. I'll call you next week to make sure you got it. Oh, by the way, while I have you, it does look like a beautiful house. Why are you trying to sell it in the first place? Because now we know that he's there, but we really don't know his sense of urgency. He did say down the line, but we don't really know yet. We're not really there. And I'm going to play the rest of it in a second, but we don't really know yet whether this is appropriate. So you just start to randomly offer it and you don't really know if it's appropriate. Would you agree or not?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're trying to determine, is this guy ready for Chris to come and add the insight? See, this pressure that you're biased by in real estate is get the appointment, get the appointment, get the appointment, get the appointment. That's all anybody ever teaches. And it's wrong. It's the wrong order. There's a definite time where I want you to go full bore for that. And Gail and I talked about one of Rebecca's cases yesterday. I want Rebecca to know better intuitively, full bore. Don't slow down in those moments. There are those moments, but you're not there yet until you vet this person properly. So let's listen to the rest of it and remember where we are, okay? You've now gone off campus with your own language and it gets more difficult to determine, and it's an easy no. So what you made an easy yes to is now an easy no for him. So let's see where it goes.
No, but hopefully by next spring or so, I'll be open to, talking to somebody.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll mail you that list of properties with pictures and details that sold in the price range, and then I'll include a copy of our 7-step listing plan, and then you'll have all our information. Okay?
Thank you.
And then I'll follow up with you in a week or so just to make sure you got it, and then I'll follow up with you again like in a couple of months. Is that okay?
That's fine.
All right. Thank you. Have a good.
All right, good. Generally good. I mean, it's generally good, and you don't sound apologetic. So this is good. I mean, it's good. And it's only 1 minute and 40.
I did after our last call, I did try to consciously lower my voice.
Good. And you did. This is good. Your tone is really good. And your authority is really good. Let me say that. And I expected that out of you. When I interviewed you and I asked you some questions, I felt that you had that authoritative tone that was still pleasant. It's here in this call. It's evident. And what I love, it's 1 minute and 43 seconds of efficiency. Okay. I think you go a little bit too far trying to explain too much at the end. I'll call you next week to make sure you got it. Okay. And then again, that you're not relevant because you want to just stay. When he gets this, the idea is the arrival of this information is a validation of what you said. I'm going to send you some information that will really help you sell it the next time. You sort of that's why I give you B. You sort of stumbled over that in the beginning, right? I'll play the whole thing again and you can listen with new ears this time. But generally, the whole thing is a B to B plus. Why? Because you created a valid prospect here who is expecting follow-up. He's just early, but he's not so far out that it's ridiculous. He definitely said, I am open to talking to somebody in the spring. So if you had gone into the second beat and said, oh, by the way, it does look like a beautiful house, right? Why were you trying to sell it in the first place? He would have gone deeper into why, not just when, because the when you can see is nebulous. That's what I've never liked about that kind of training, where they just say, well, you're thinking about selling it in the next 3 to 6 months, and nobody ever asks why. It's just goofy, right? So we go when, but we don't ask why, because why can be malleable. Meaning what? It means, what if there's something you and Chris could do to shorten the time frame for the guy because he just didn't know how to do something? We would never know that if we just said when, because we leave the when up to their perception of when. And it might be a hard logistical thing that says, you know what, I can't do it till the spring because of this. Oh, that makes sense, right? Or I can't do it right now because I just couldn't find something. Well, gee, is anybody helping you on the buy side? Well, not really. I was going to Zillow. Well, what we could do is we could sit down with you, for 15 or 20 minutes via Zoom. We don't have to come there. We can talk about that. Would it be helpful if Chris just gave you his insights on how to get a good deal right now? You see what I'm saying, Heather? Why can help us identify qualitatively what the issue is and give you the intuition. Well, geez, I think if you meet with Chris, he could probably solve that. See, it becomes so logical for you. That's what I want. I don't want you to have that burden. It felt like you were going for, well, would it be? And that's where you did get apologetic. Well, would it be okay to, maybe get some, you know what I mean? And he says, no, he shuts you down. Whereas if you said, oh, by the way, why? He gets to talk some more. But you can see by the end of this, he's sort of rushing you off because you're pushing for something he doesn't want or he doesn't know he needs. Okay, so let's do this whole thing again, and I want you to listen to it, and I want you to tell me what you hear this time, okay? That's what I heard. Here's what you hear. Here we go.
Hi, Nazim.
Yes, speaking.
Hi, this is Heather Riley with the Premier Team at Remax. I'm calling about your beautiful home on Tompkins Knob Drive.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm calling because I saw the home and noticed it didn't sell, so I'd like to send you something that will help with next time. May I do that?
Okay. Yeah, please do.
Okay. And can I confirm your best mailing address?
It's a 1463 Tompkins Knob. Yeah, this is a physical address.
Okay, I just want to make sure you live at that same property address. Sometimes people don't. So it looks like a really nice property. Why were you trying to sell it?
So we just we decided to sell it, but then we had some physical, some family, circumstances. So we changed to basically hopefully next spring or the end of this year.
Next spring or the end of this year?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Would you like to talk to somebody to go over, everything that we do to list the home so you're prepared?
As of now, no, but hopefully by next spring or so, I'll be open to, talking to somebody.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll mail you that list of properties with pictures and details that sold in the price range. And then I'll include a copy of our 7-step listing plan. And then you'll have all our information. Okay?
Thank you.
And then I'll follow up with you in a week or so just to make sure you got it. And then I'll follow up with you again like in a couple of months. Is that okay?
That's fine.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day. Thanks for talking to me.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, good. Now tell me what you hear. Heather.
Yeah.
Tell me what you
Can
hear.
hear me?
Yeah, tell me what you hear.
I don't know. I thought it was okay, except for, like you said, that stumbling part when I asked for the appointment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. In the beginning, I made another note. You're not fully articulating what's in front of you. You're sort of swallowing or missing words, so it feels a little disjointed. Henceforth, the B grade, right? So if you listen to the beginning, you're not fully articulating to help you sell it the next time. Those are key points for them, not you, right? Those are key points. I'd like to send you some information that will help you sell it the next time, whenever that might be, right? This is that service with a smile. Like, we've curated this really helpful information. It's really valuable. I just want to send you that information so that you can sell it the next time, right? It'll help you sell it the next time. That's your whole thinking point. Fully articulate that. And again, when something's new, that's what we do. We stumble over words, we add word whiskers. You don't need that. You're really efficient. Just stay to the script in the beginning. And then eventually more and more and more that you do it, it'll sound conversational. And it already does. So it already does. You sound good. You sound conversational. You sound engaging. But there's a couple of stumbles in the beginning that doesn't fully articulate it. You missed the finishing of the first beat. Wonderful. I'll call you next week to make sure you got it. Don't say any more than that. I'll call you next week to make sure you got it. Oh, by the way, it's like a comma. Oh, by the way, it looks like a beautiful home. Why are you trying to sell it in the first place? Because you have that engaging voice. You're engaging, right? I want to talk to you if I'm listening to you talk like that. And he did too. But the minute you triggered him about, I want to come over, and he wasn't even remotely ready to have that conversation, there wasn't enough about him. Asking them, it looks like a beautiful home, why were you trying to sell it, is all about them. But the minute you immediately went and said, I'm going to send you some information, hey, can I send somebody over? That's all about you. And there's no logical moment there for him because he already told you, I'm down the line. That's when, well, can I have some? You listen, right? And what helps us is this script helps us listen, ironically. Oh, by the way, why? And then we just lean in like this, big ears, and we listen.
Yeah, he didn't really give me that much of a why, though. I actually did ask, why are you trying to sell before I asked for the appointment? But he just said some family circumstances. He was very, very vague. So I think in my mind,
Here we go. Let's listen. I want fact. Hold on. I want to listen.
Hi, Nazim.
Yes, speaking.
Hi, this is Heather Wiley with the Premier Team at Remax. I'm calling about your beautiful home on Tompkins Knob Drive.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm calling because I saw the home and noticed it didn't sell. So I'd like to send you something that will help with next time. May I do that?
Okay. Yeah, please do.
Okay. And can I confirm your best mailing address?
It's a 1463 Tompkins Knob. Yeah, it's a physical address.
Okay, I just want to make sure you live at that same property address. Sometimes people don't. So it looks like a really nice property. Why were you trying to sell it?
Good.
So we just we decided to sell, but then we had some physical, some family, circumstances. So we changed to basically, hopefully, next spring or the end of this year.
Next spring or the end of this year?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Would you like to talk to somebody to go over?
Yeah, good. I just think you just pushed too hard in a situation where he gave you timing, right? I think that since he gave you such specific timing, that's not, don't push so hard for something where somebody's not that close, right? He gave you specific timing, some family circumstances. That's why he doesn't articulate it fully. So whatever that means, it sounded personal. So just let the package be the benevolent Trojan horse that it is to change the relationship that you actually fulfilled. So even a week later, when you follow up with him, this could be something where he does go further, right? Right? And you could say, look, I know it's not until the spring, but if there's any time you would like me to set up an appointment with Chris before then, even if you feel like it's early, he could give you tips on what to do and what not to do as it relates to his plan in advance of getting prepared. Okay. So again, I even upgraded you to a B+ at the end of this because I thought it was that close to really good. And it's all done in 1:43 seconds, which I love. You were effective in getting the package out. You were effective in determining a time frame, and you were effective in securing a follow-up call. I can't ask for more than that. I can ask for better from you because we're going to keep raising your standard. So, don't swallow those words, but this is good. This is good. Do you feel good about it?
Yeah, I mean, every day is an improvement, obviously.
Yep.
You get more comfortable with it.
Yep.
I just have to keep myself on track because I'm just so used to just having a conversation with people.
Yeah, which is not good. If I could have trained you long ago, I would have said it's not good. And that's the pandemic in this industry is everybody thinks that's a plan. Oh, I'm a connector. Oh, people like me. Right? It doesn't work. I did that for many years myself because the training and coaching in this industry doesn't immediately go to, you need a plan, right? Just doesn't go to that. So it's like, go out and talk to your sphere of influence and, whatever it is, the blah, blah, blah. Just get them talking and just, all this nonsense. That's not business. This is a business. And you can be pleasant and you can be engaging and you can be likable and authoritative, all the laws of influence that matter. I always recommend everybody here, if they want to understand how you're actually influencing people for real, not what we perceive, read Robert Cialdini's book, Influence. Cialdini. He goes through the laws of behavior. This is the way humans behave. We think we're so in control of everything, and we're not. We have reactions to things. So that could give you an understanding deeper of when you're effective. But if somebody wants to be effective in a more succinct, efficient period of time, they need a plan. So everything has a plan. What you're going to send them is already pre-planned. It's in front of you. It's ready to go. What you're going to say is already pre-planned, right? What you're going to say when you follow up is just a continuation of that plan. When we arrive in the house because you got us in, it's off of the same plan. And that's what makes a business work, a good, solid plan. If we leave it to, I always say, stop doing things on muscle. That means we use all intuition. There are no borders. It's all over the place. And then we wonder why sometimes we do well and sometimes we don't do well. The reason why the mastermind group is beginning to do extremely well, Alan Smith has his best month. Brad Bretthauer makes a shift in his business. Paul starts to clean up his. I start to get into luxury. These are all coming from the execution and the discipline we need to build in a plan. So everybody needs a plan. Everybody. Otherwise, you can't get to a clear goal, right? You can have a clear goal. I'd like to be more successful. I'd like to do this amount of revenue. I'd like to hit this revenue goal because, quite frankly, let's not pull the punch. This is business. We make our living doing it. There needs to be income. And so if we have clear income goals, but yet we sort of make it up on how we're going to get there, you'll never get there. You'll never get, maybe some year you get lucky, the rising tide, the good market, the low interest rates. Maybe I had a great year. And the next year we wonder why we fall off a cliff because we're not following any plan. Okay, so let's listen to one more of yours, but I thought that was good. Good job.
Hi, Alexis. Yes. Hi, this is Heather Riley with the Premier Team at RE/MAX.
Okay.
I'm calling about your lot you had for sale.
Yes.
And I noticed it didn't sell. Is that correct?
Not as right now, no.
Okay. Well, it looks like it expired August 1st. So I'd like to send you something that will help.
Okay, now let's just stop this because we can be more analytical with you now. Why all these pauses?
One, I tend to sometimes I can talk over people. So I'm trying not to do that because I'm used to going 60 miles an hour.
Good.
And even that seems slow to me, but I know with other people, it's not. And especially in this new area that I'm in, I know people move a lot slower.
Yep.
I think the audio is slightly delayed because it doesn't seem that long of a pause when you're actually talking. But I do try to pause just in case they want to get a word in edgewise.
Don't do that. You're losing the law of authority. So there's a difference between, and I get it, you move from Jersey to the, basically the South. Smart adjustment, intelligent adjustment, and that's what I expect from you. I expect you to get it, and you do. That's why I like you, because you're able to humble yourself from our crazy Northeast way that we all live to something that's slower. But that doesn't mean compromise the technique. Okay, you're compromising the technique. There's a law of authority that you can say it very slowly. When Autumn first brought her talent as a telemarketer to my business, one of the things that I learned from listening to her was that she would slow it down, but she would not lose the authority. Heather, this is Danny Griffin calling from Griffin Realty Group. The reason I'm calling is because I saw your beautiful home online and I noticed that it didn't sell. So I wanted to send you some information that would help you sell it the next time. May I do that? That's very slow, very deliberate, very authoritative, but very friendly and welcoming at the same time, right? So what you're trying to do to make up for what you correctly perceive as too fast, and Sarah Van, she can 100% attest to this up in Ottawa. She talks Mach 10 with her hair on fire when she's excited, but she has begun to slow it down. And Sarah Van, you can weigh in on this and help her. She has begun to fully articulate what she's trying to say. And as she simply does that, it naturally slows her down. Okay. So when there's a question or they interrupt, sure, back off. If they interrupt you, but that first few seconds, it's about 7 seconds. I mean, you can time me. Heather, this is Danny Griffin calling from Griffin Realty Group. I'm calling you because I saw your beautiful home online. I want you to say that too. You don't say that. Okay. I saw your beautiful home online.
This was a lot, so the beautiful home doesn't apply.
I saw you.
I get a lot of commercial buildings and that kind of thing.
Okay.
So.
I saw your beautiful property. Always. There's beauty in any property at the right price for any buyer. So it's a compliment. See, here we go again with these laws of likability. If I compliment your property, I'm essentially complimenting you. Got it? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. You have to believe this and you have to trust me and you have to do it so that when we listen to it, it's my problem if it doesn't work, right? And you have to believe it. I saw your beautiful lot online. Saw your beautiful property would have covered it. And I noticed that it didn't sell. You follow me? So your perception is what's in the way. You perceive that when you look at a beautiful property, it's beautifully staged, it's elegant, the wind's blowing through the shades, but we have to see the beauty in the real estate opportunity too, not just the physical hard property. Saw your beautiful lot. Well, what do you mean? It's got all trees. Oh, no. Some developer's going to love this. There's a lot of retailers that are going to love this. It's beautiful for them. You follow? Like, I believe that. I'm not patronizing. This is what I do every day. I can't believe how many times I go look at a property that needs work and somebody says, geez, you're a breath of fresh air. Everybody else came in here. I have to do this. I should tear down this. Nope, not for a developer. You need this to be looking like this for a developer, or you won't even get them to come in here. This is beautiful. What an opportunity. Look at the view. Look at how flat this lot is. I always find the beauty in this business. That's why I love this business. And you have to become attached to that. Because if you get your perceptions in the way, it begins to interfere with the process you are trying to allow this hero of the story to go through, right? I saw your beautiful lot online and I noticed it didn't sell. So I wanted to send you some information that will help you sell it the next time. May I do that? With enthusiasm, right? So that's what's going on here, is that you're making personal adjustments that are correct. You're just doing them inaccurately. Make them by just using the authority and the likability laws. Read those. I can tell you haven't really read the mind map where I started to write out those things like law of authority, law of likability, because is a trigger word. There's some subtleties in there that after 21 years of doing this, I even had to say, oh, that was all in Cialdini's book. Oh, that was in Seth Godin's book, Law of Permission, the permission marketing. These are concepts that are global concepts that people a lot smarter than you or I have gone out and figured out. We just want to apply them. Making sense here?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Let's keep going.
What's next time? May I do that?
Sure, that's fine.
Good tone.
Okay. And can I confirm your best mailing address?
It's 1543
Good.
Uh-huh.
Gaston Mountain Drive,
Mm-hmm.
Alice.
Is that 28034?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and I can send it to your attention.
Okay.
Okay. And I like to, it looks like a nice property in a great area.
Right there. I'll call you next week to make sure you get it. Finish the beat, okay? Training, just keep beating that into your head. Once I have the address, I'll call you next week to make sure you get it. Segue, comma, oh, by the way, okay? Just like a story. You're going to tell the same story every time because this is good. Your tone is excellent again. I feel the authority again. I feel the pace is slow enough. You're fine. Both people have said yes. So you don't have a pace problem, and they fully understand you, don't they?
Usually.
No, in these two cases, don't they?
In these two cases, yes.
Okay,
yes.
thank you. That's all I'm saying. We're looking for evidence-based here so we can fight perception, right? You do an excellent job in both of these calls being effective. And Gail will tell you, we were passionate about that discussion yesterday. The word effective is everything. You can fumble and stumble all you want, and I will be here to catch you and train you and train you and train you. But if I can't make you effective, that's a real problem. You're already effectively getting yeses. Now I want to make you effective in the second beat to hear when is the right time to close. Okay?
Why are you trying to sell it?
I've had it for 20 years and I want to capitalize on this, the market's crazy right now.
Sure.
But I think that people just have a hard time envisioning a lot with woods, so.
Okay.
If I have a
Well,
hard time
because you're
seeing.
so highly motivated, I'd be happy to have an
Beautiful.
agent deliver the package in person or give you
Beautiful.
a free consultation.
Beautiful. 10.
Would you like me to have somebody call you back?
Yeah, that'd be fine. I got to go to work right now, but
Okay.
you can call me.
What
10.
time later today works for you for them to
10.
call?
10.
I'll probably be done about 6.
10.
Okay, so after 6 this evening.
Yes.
Okay, I'll have them do that. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Okay.
10 out of 10. So 10. And what am I going to say? This is like a minute and 54 seconds. Everybody should be listening to what a rookie just did here. That's a 10. I don't know what else to tell you. I was going to stop it and say, are you hearing the alarm go off? I didn't need to, because you did. Since you're so highly motivated, what delicious language, because I gave it to you on this call and you actually applied it perfectly when it was due. You got it?
Yeah.
Brilliant. For a rookie?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, like you said, I have to drill it into my head. I will call you next week to make sure you receive the information. I keep missing that.
Yeah.
I just gotta.
Because you're in a hurry. Well, you know what?
happen.
You know what it is? You're actually not speaking fast. You're thinking too fast. Follow me?
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
speaking is fine, but you're thinking, I need to get Chris in. I need to get Chris in. Chris is going to think I suck if I don't get Chris in. I got to get
Right.
Chris in. I get it. I get Sarah
Right.
Van and all the gang in Ottawa, Dave and, Pat, they're probably all laughing when they hear that, because those guys are like, we need appointments. We need appointments. And they're like, I got to get them in. I got to get them in. It's this weird thing going on. This is how you do it right there. It's a 10 and you're a rookie. So stop giving yourself extra dialogue. You're 100% capable. So I go back to the beginning of the coaching with you and I say, look, you made an absolute statement that, well, I just can't get, you already stopped. That is not an old school realtor speak right there. You're a little sloppy on the realtor. I mean, are you getting multiple realtors in, or is Chris going in? Personalize it a little bit.
There actually there's about 7 different ones in 7 different areas.
Good.
So I can't just default to it. Would be Chris.
Cool. All right. Use bigger language. I'm gonna have one of the land specialists, one of the property specialists, come up with something that works for you. That's more powerful language, right?
Yeah. Sometimes I say listing partner or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that.
Listing specialist, land specialist. That's powerful language, because right here where you're making, you need to upsell them and their value. Look at, since you're so highly motivated and the market's so hot, reiterate to her what she is, right? Because you did it really well. In the heat of the moment, it was beautiful. See, that's that city girl in you. You get it.
Yeah.
You get it. I mean, and I mean that. And this is a full compliment to you. You come.
And it's funny because
Yep.
the other call that you may not listen to, the third one that I gave you, I do know which agent to send, and I actually say he's an expert in.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to jam it in.
It's long. It's crazy.
Here we go.
It's a crazy conversation.
I'm going to jam it in. Here we go.
Hello.
Richard?
Hello.
Hi, Richard.
Uh-huh.
This is Heather. I'm calling with the Premier Team at REMAX. I'm calling because I saw your beautiful property online and noticed it didn't sell. So I'd like to send you something that will help next time. May I do that?
There it is. 20 seconds.
This sounds crazy. Guy.
No, thank you.
Keep going.
I'm taking it off the market.
You are? Did your plans change?
Beautiful.
Stay?
Beautiful.
Yes, I'm gonna stay forever.
Forever? Okay. Well, if you did sell your house, because you did have it on the market, where were you guys going to go? Did you have plans?
Good.
Yes, we did. We were going to Guadalajara, and then from there we're going to Belize, and then on that down to Ecuador.
Oh, okay. So probably because of COVID, it must have changed, huh?
No,
No.
I'm immune to that.
Oh, okay. Good for you. Okay.
I've got vaccinated.
All right. We don't have to go off the rails here. I get it. I thought your intro was beautiful, right? I mean, I could tell he's going to go off the rails into something. And so
Yeah, and I actually did get him to accept the information.
I bet you did. I bet you did.
Somebody calling when his first response was not interested.
I bet you did, because I
But
liked
it
it.
was off the rails.
Yeah, because I like that you went. He's a wacko, but you did a
Yeah.
good job going into the next beat. You didn't take no for an answer, and you asked the same question in a different way. I just want to call that out for everybody else. That's what you did. You first asked, did your plans change? Excellent. Right in the script, right where I put it. You know why? It's a frequently stated objection, right?
Mhm.
Nope, I stayed forever. Oh, did your plans change? Beautiful. It was a 1-2 punch. And that allowed him, by asking him a question about him, to talk about himself and his plans aloud. That's the effectiveness of the right question in the right moment. So again, I am just thrilled with all three of these. And I'll tell Clever that. I'm thrilled because this is now just a matter of refinement for you, right?
Right.
Yep. And now remember, you're going to be watching for, it's not just a victory to send it. If the guy's a wacko and he really doesn't have a real why, I'm not going to listen to the whole call to figure that out. If he doesn't, you'll begin to refine it, and you'll begin to get more comfortable that there are real people with real properties that have a solution you guys can solve. Those are the ones we're looking for, right?
Yeah.
Bravo. Very, very good for a rookie. But all of the things I knew that I would like about you, and the things I worried about, you bringing that old realtor baggage in, let it go. You have a plan now. So that intuitive way that you are, and that like, that Jersey tough where you're going to keep digging until you find out why, you're doing it with a Carolina pace. I don't think there's anything wrong with that combo right now. It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah. You keep that up, you're going to be effective. But do what you did, even though we didn't do one of your calls last time. You listened. I can tell because I can hear it in the call. Did your plans change? Oh, what was it? Probably COVID? No, I'm immune. Here we go with, cuckoo fly, but you got it. Yep. Bravo. Really good. I'm proud of you and I'm happy for you. Yeah, I am. I'm happy for you. This is a very viable situation for you now. Very, very well done. So good. Anybody have questions that they want to go off on that or ask me about? Because that's just darn good for a rookie. How long you been doing it again so everybody has perspective?
The telemarketing, 2 weeks.
Yeah, pretty good for 2 weeks.
For 10 years, so 10 years of habits.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to breathe.
Yeah. Well, look I appreciate your humility. You know me, I'm aggressively out there with my love for you guys. I'm not going to pull punches. I'm going to go right at it, but it's got nothing to do with you personally. It's just, we're really trying to say the system rules the day always. And the system is built to serve. It's not a system that just gets us what we want. It's first built to always serve the consumer so that no matter what happens, the positioning is as the servant's mentality to begin with. But some people need authority to serve them. Just because they're the hero of the story doesn't mean they don't need to be led by the nose. Right? So don't lose your authority. You have something that's super valuable for them. You have info, then insight, right? Cool. Anybody? Yeah, go ahead. Fire away.
What does the telemarketer have on their desk when they're making their call?
What I think they should have is MLS open looking at the property so that they're genuinely connected to the beauty of the property. That would be my thing. I'm not a big fan of dialers for telemarketers. What I've learned over this past 16 to 18 months that Autumn's been here is that quality matters. Right. And I want her to single dial things. I want her to be fully engaged in the conversation she's about to have, especially Grant, as we go up that ladder into luxury. I want her fully engaged. I want her looking at the beautiful staircase, the beautiful view, the pictures, whether they are or are not. Like she was all over. She's booked me one for tomorrow for $2 million that has spectacular ocean setting, and the pictures just do it an injustice. So it becomes a very easy marketing conversation to have. Clearly, price could be an issue too, but the marketing's terrible. So I want that MLS open. I would prefer that the script is there and maybe that they type up pieces of it or cut and paste it and blow it up. Because if they lose their way, even if they're veterans, look at Autumn can get so good at this, she can get very conversational too. And I want her to understand that I'm still working very much from a framework because I don't want a conversation with somebody for the conversation. And she gets it. She's like, I'm going to drop off the seller qualifying questionnaire for you so that you have that ready to go. She gets what I need to be successful in that home because we're able to Lego those together. So she should have the seller qualifying questionnaire in case the appointment is booked on that first call. She should have a package in front of her. So let me reiterate, the package is paramount. I want them connected to what this thing is so that they can almost touch it. I want their script right there. I want MLS there. And then if they're going to go to the next thing, I want the seller qualifying questionnaire. That's athletically prepared to be successful. It's expectant of success at that point.
Okay, great.
Okay. Rebecca, you are up, my dear.
Hello.
Hi. So, Rebecca, what we are looking for here is there's a concern about that intuitive moment to really go for getting Gail on the phone, in the house, in there somewhere. Okay. It's really important that you begin to get that intuitive moment where you close, right? See, the advantage that Heather has is she's been in the real estate business. She's from New Jersey. She understands that if she's not aggressive in this business when the time is right, somebody else will be and will take the food off of your plate. So that's where I'm at with you and Gail in that moment. And it's a must. You must understand that I don't want to just check the info box off. I want to make sure that it's very clear that if you think their timing is very soon, you close right there and then. There's no kicking it down the road. There's no, well, I didn't, and there's no thinking. There's only this lion's mentality, this lioness mentality. And Heather just did it. Since you're so highly motivated, why don't I just get Gail on the phone with you so that she can add some of these insights about the package we're selling and what it relates to you? And close them with authority. No apology, no nothing. Gail is extremely valuable, and that's your job. That's Heather's job. That's Autumn's job. When they hit it, you got to have Danny talk to you. You have a real serious need to sell, and it's timing. You got nothing. Well, I'm sure a second opinion will not hurt you. And this lady knows her stuff. It needs to be strong and authoritative. You with me?
I so am. In this particular one, I'm hoping that this is the only example that I need to harness and make use of that.
Okay. Well, it's every single call. I want everybody telemarketing. And by the way, too, it's also for the outside sales agent who goes to an open house and the buyer's there. Geez, that's a pretty big urgency. You're running around with your Zillow app and it's not working for you. Why don't I just give you some of these properties? And if you want to see any of them, then just set them up and I'll go in and I'll give you my insights. You have to close. You have to have a nose for the close, right? As much as I'm telling people, slow down the pace, fully articulate the offer. That's so that they can understand fully and simply in a short period of time how valuable you are, how valuable your info is, how valuable your insight on top of that info is, and how super valuable you'll be when you're in the field with them, actually walking them through how to be successful, right? So we must close at every level where it's viable because it's too hard to sift and sort through all the opportunities and let one slip away because somebody else like me and Autumn will take it right off of your plate, right? Because we will not apologize for being good at what we do in that moment that you need help. Make sense?
It sure does.
Okay.
And I think with this particular call that I struggled with, where I got deer in headlights towards the end, it was because I could, on one hand, I was like, oh, she's so super ready. But I had this, I don't want to muscle her. But she said yes to the package. And so I don't know. I just was mentally, my brain was too active and I was fighting myself and I shouldn't have been doing that.
Well, you're up in your head. You're trying to perform too much. And what you should be doing is listening more and closing more. Listen more, close more. I mean, I think you've had plenty of training that you understand the beats, but listen and close more because the big strong word we're going to put on all these calls, you must be effective. So here we go.
Hello. Is this Natalia? Yes, it is. Hi, Natalia. This is Rebecca with Rossetti Realty, and the reason I'm calling is because we saw your beautiful home online, and you're restricted in sales, and I'd like to mail you a package of information that'll help you sell it the next time. Can you do that? Sure.
Good.
Awesome. I'm going to address your house, right? Okay. Feel free to test some avenues and San Carlos? Yeah. Okay, perfect. Mind if I give you a call back next week to make sure you got that package?
Don't do that. Don't do that. Do you mind? You're setting your brain up for apologetic behavior. It's very subtle. Do you mind? Why are you doing that?
Because from the very beginning, I was trained to get permission to call back.
No, not like that. You weren't. It doesn't say it anywhere in the script. I've never written, do you mind?
Is it okay if I call you back next
No.
week?
Doesn't say that either.
Okay,
There's
maybe
no-
I have a different script. I
there's
think
no-
the
there-
script that I have is not the same.
There is no question mark anywhere. This is the law of authority. I will call you next week to make sure you received it. Period. It's a statement.
Okay.
You've already just gotten permission. Why do you need permission again?
When did I get permission?
She just gave you the address.
Right, to send the package,
Yeah.
but
So,
not to call her back next week.
well, why do you need permission to call her back to make sure she received the valuable thing? You don't. There's no need. You just
Okay.
got the permission. I don't need double permission to do something. Oh, great. I'll call you next week to make sure you got it. It's logical. It's logical. This is valuable. And that's a higher level of service. Wouldn't it be great if Amazon picked up the phone and said, hey, Mr. Griffin, did you get the Converse sneakers in the mail yet? Be great. I would love it.
Mhm.
Just tell me you're going to do it. I'm sure. Great. That'd be great. This is that apologetic thing, and you're setting yourself up for trouble for the close. Just warning you, right? You started off fine. It was really good, but you're warming yourself up to be apologetic, and this is where these calls get tougher. This piece should be easy. If you all get somebody on the other line and that person has a serious interest in selling their property, who wouldn't want some information that would help them sell it the next time? So that should be easy every time we get a sane person on the other end of the line, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna listen to the rest of this.
Cool. Awesome. And while I have you on the phone, why were you going to sell in the first place?
Well, I'm tired of living with that.
Okay, again, you're like, this is the same thing I was saying to Heather. Fully articulate this. Hey, by the way, while I have you, it looks like a beautiful home. Why are we trying to sell it in the first place? You rushed it. You rushed it, right? And you're not in a conversation with her. This isn't a conversational tone. It's a transactional tone now too. So you're struggling at this segue point. This is the biggie, because this is where you need to hear, can you close? The only reason for offering the information is so that if there is an urgent need to sell, you can close for the appointment. Got it? The only reason for the offering of the information is so that you can ingratiate yourself with true helpful information so that you get the chance to qualify if you can book an appointment because there's urgency. Got it?
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
They own it together.
Okay. That makes sense. So it sounds like you're really motivated to sell it. Okay. Fantastic. And let's see here.
Wow, you're really stumbling all over that. It's right there, right? See, this is the one you need to be trained on. This is a problem for you. And this is right where you need, like, this seconds, and you're stumbling and you're fumbling. What are you nervous about right here? Because this is when the red alert goes off and it's like, oh, this lady's really nice. She accepted the information. And it sounds like I could probably close her for Gail right now. Why don't I just do it right now? Should be logical in your brain, but it's not. So tell me what's going on.
So I have two documents in front of me besides the plan. I have the instructions with the script that's interwoven in between the instructions for how to use the dialer and all this stuff. And then I have the seller questionnaire. And I think at that very moment, I was looking at the seller questionnaire, asking myself, well, she's very motivated. I already know that. So what do I ask her next? And I was struggling. Do I ask?
Do you have the script? Do you have the
her for
script in front of you?
appointments?
Hold on. Do you have the script in front of you?
The script I have, I don't think is the script that you have.
Okay, read it.
It's
Read
the
it to me.
script we have.
Read it to me. Then that's a problem. Read it to me.
Okay.
I want you to
This
go
is
right.
Rebecca.
I want you to go right down the whole thing. Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah. I'll read it to you right here. It's in front of me. So hello. Is this their name? This is Rebecca with Rossetti Realty, and the reason I'm calling is because I noticed your beautiful home online didn't sell, and we would like to mail you a package of information that will help you sell it the next time. May I do that?
Yes. Next.
Second beat. It looks like a beautiful home. Why do you want to sell? And then it says your home is beautiful. May I ask if you received any offers?
Yeah, I don't know.
Where were you going to move?
I don't know where all this came from. I don't like it. Throw it out the door. Go down the Teachable site this afternoon and go look at the right one. That's ugly.
Okay.
It's ugly. Wherever that came from, it's ugly. And no wonder why you're confused here. You got too much going on. And this is what I was trying to root out. Everybody hear me say this, okay? Oh, by the way, looks like a beautiful home. Why are we trying to sell it in the first place? Shut up. Listen. Let them talk. Let them read their mind aloud to you. Okay? That's what you're doing. And they're going to tell you more than you can imagine because you just got an okay to send them helpful information and nobody did that but you. 30 calls, 40 calls, 50 calls. I couldn't care less because you made the only offer like that and they said yes. Looks like a beautiful house. Why are you trying to sell it in the first place? Get human. Where the hell is the humanity? And then listen. Geez, that's a pretty big reason to sell. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you to still sell it? Well, I'm a 10. What I could do, I think it'll be more helpful actually, is why don't I just get Gail either on the phone or if you're not too worried about COVID, she could hand deliver this and take a look at the property and give you her insight. Would you like me to do that? That's it. There's no more to it than this. We've lost ourselves. Look at, me. I, as much as I sound like I'm saying be militant about this scripted way, it's because you're trying to serve that way in the first beat. So you have to stay disciplined. So you fully articulate benefit. So there's a rhetorical yes. You have to understand that, yes. But the next part is very human and intuitive. Oh, by the way, looks like a beautiful place. Why are you trying to sell it? Shut up, listen, let them read their mind aloud, make an intuitive decision. That's a big reason. Well, that's not really a big reason. You sure you want to sell it? Why don't you just keep it? That's your job. Vet that. Hey, Gail, this guy didn't really want to sell it. He was his buddy. He said, if you can get me your number, you want me to keep this lead or not? Nope, get rid of it. Good. Well, Gail, this guy was really motivated. And I'm looking at the pictures online here. They suck. He had bad marketing. I mean, he was telling me it was a horror show and he's still motivated. And I booked you a phone appointment. This should all be very logical, Rebecca, in the second thing. But all that other stuff, you get any offers on, I don't even know where that came from. I never wrote any of that stuff, ever. Because it's not like that's all about us. That's not about them. You don't care anymore, right? Did you get offers and all that? That's Gail's job. Why is it even in your script? And I'm saying that to Gail, not you. Okay?
That's a good question.
Okay.
Yep.
There we go. All right. Good job, though, because see what I say. Do what I tell you to do, then it's my problem when it doesn't work. Do all this other weird nebulous stuff. Now I got to go root that out, fix that. Now we got to go back to the drawing board. Got it?
Yeah, I do get it. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I appreciate
yeah,
it.
'cause
I think I'm going to recognize this particular call, it's burned in my mind and memory. I can now fully recognize when someone's ready to go and I can jump on it.
Yes.
I think that's part of the issue is I've not seen it. I've not heard it. I have not been able to recognize the pattern. I'm very good at recognizing patterns. So I think,
Rebecca,
I appreciate this. So
well, Rebecca, it's human. You're losing your humanity to the scripted piece of it, right? And when we do that, we stop. Our ability to listen is stunted. Let that sink in for a second. When we lose our humanity in this moment, our ability to listen is stunted. Listen to you. You're fumbling with papers on the table, and this lady sitting there going, "Duh, hello, right?" Follow me? I'm exaggerating.
Yeah, I do follow you.
I'm exaggerating the point to make the point that she's waiting for you to lead her. And there's this huge pregnant pause of stumbling when it was so smooth up to there because you're not ready to say, well, gee, that's a pretty big reason. There's these weird nervous laughs and things. Like you hear that on these calls. It's like, wow, that's a pretty big reason. Just be logical. Like you're talking to your friend. Well, what are you doing then? And I'll talk to my sellers like this. What are we doing here? You bought the property. Well, that's not right. Yes, it is relevant. I said to one of them yesterday, yeah, of course it's relevant what you bought it for, what you put into it. You're looking for a return on investment, right? You're an investor, right? So what are we doing here? So he listened. He listened. We can't be apologetics. We must be the guide that's strong. You will not go over that way. I'm going to knock you over the head with this club because that's where the lion lives. So I'm not going to let you go there. Okay? And in fact, I'll fight you before you do it because I don't want to see you lose your life to the lion around the corner. I mean, over time, you'll become attached to this business like that. As you can see my passion for it. I desperately want to help people do the right thing for themselves. And sometimes on a buy side, I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you nickel and diming this? What are you doing here? Just buy the thing. This is your life. You're going to be here for 10 years and you want to not step up 10 grand to get this house? What's the matter with you? I'll talk to my clients like that, right? Because my job is to help them not hurt themselves. So you're jumping into that assembly line with us. And it's like, geez, that's a pretty big deal. Why don't I just have Gail, come over and say, well, I'm not really ready. Well, why don't I just get her on the phone, right? She can add her insights to this information. You have a big reason. I mean, how are you going to feel when you sell it? Happy, right? Get Gail on the phone. I need to hear some version of that in all of you. Cool?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, but close. Okay. I see our problem. We have let you down by poisoning all the things that are in front of you. You need to go to the Teachable site with Gail, get the right script that we have worked on, okay, and follow that one, not whatever this hybrid thing is. And all you mastermind members, stop screwing around with things, right? Double check with me whether that you have it right or not. We have evolved over time. This shouldn't be this sloppy, right? Okay. All right. Paul, good job, by the way, Rebecca. Thank you always, you and Heather today for, being in the hot seat. Ladies, I love you. I care about you. I want you to get this right. I want your lives easier, not more difficult. But I'm no shrinking violet, and neither are you two. We need to go solve this problem week to week to week. Okay?
Yeah, thank you so much,
Yeah,
Danny. I
yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
all your expertise and guidance.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, you've let me go there with you. In the beginning, not everybody does, and you didn't. Now you do, and it's just easier for both of us, and I appreciate you for that. Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, you too.
Good. All right, here we go. Next, Cantu, you're up. Here we go.
All right,
Hello. Hi, this is Sam. I'm calling from Cantu Group Real Estate. So we were just giving you a call because we saw your beautiful home online and we noticed it didn't sell. So we wanted to mail you something that will help you sell it next time. May I do that?
What is it you're mailing me potentially?
Oh, yes. We're mailing the list of properties with pictures and details that sold in your price range while you were on the market.
Beautiful.
And we're also including a copy of our 7-step listing plan.
Yes.
May I send that over?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
What, I'm sorry?
Hello?
Yes?
You're cutting off a bit. Sure, go ahead and send it over. That's fine.
Okay, I have here the mailing address is 3711 41st.
Not. I moved.
Okay.
Red
can you
alert.
please provide me the best mailing address?
Sure. That's 4272 North of Pistia Street.
Okay, perfect. And it looks like a great property. Why were you trying to sell it?
Oh, why was I trying to sell it? I'm not. I think the main consideration is I'm probably not going to stay in Seattle for the long run, so I'm trying to divest from property in the city.
Oh, okay. All right, perfect. And from a scale to 1 to 10, how motivated are you to sell it?
Probably motivated.
You're pretty motivated, like around an 8?
Sure.
Okay. Well, since you are an 8, what I can do is have my managing broker, his name is Paul Cantu, he has 20 years in the business, go over to your property and he can give you the 7-step listing plan in person and also give you his insights in today's market. Would you be available anytime this week or weekend?
This is not a good week, but yeah, I don't know. Why don't you send me the materials first, and I can reach you guys out if
Good.
when we're ready to
Good. Good.
Yeah, either way, I'll send it over and I'll give you a call next week just to make sure that you received it.
Good. Get out of here. Good. Move.
All right. Thank you. I'll be speaking to you next week.
Good. Good. Sam, you there with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi. It goes to show you that following the yellow brick system still is effective. And I like that you try to close them. I mean, so, and you almost got there and you were patient with him. Why are you having so much trouble hearing him though? Could you hear him during the call? Cause there's a pause at the beginning of your call too.
No, it was just, well, yeah, I did have trouble hearing him. He talked really like slow and stuff.
Yeah, it was painful to listen to, but you did a fantastic job hanging in there. Okay. Yeah. But there's a real reason he's divesting. He wants out of there. And this is a very, very viable thing. And what I said to most of you, if you go for the close and it's not there, I'll get into a couple of the things here that I think I could critique you on. But this is only 3 minutes and 25 seconds long. Again, a nice block for a long, slow talker, but it's still efficient. 3 minutes and 25 seconds is all it took you to be that effective. And you have an information delivered prospect with a potential that once he sees it, what he was basically saying is, I am going to vet you guys first. He might have even kind of said it. Just send me the info first. Let me look at the info first, right?
Right.
Now, what I think you need to work on is how you sell, Paul. You sound too much like a kid who's sort of in reverence of Paul. Paul needs to sound like your partner. Look, we could send over our listing specialist and he's the owner. Paul can too, right? And Paul could come over and he could bring the package and he could give you his insights on what to do and what not to do to get this sold. Could I set that up? I want it to sound more like you and look, you're living in Paul's house, for crying out loud. You sound like you don't even know him, right?
Okay.
You follow me? You sound like you don't even know him. And again, how I always give empathy to telemarketers. Your energy wasn't there on this call like it usually is. You're sounding more transactional. So take that deep breath, get ready, get the right stuff only in front of you. Like I was saying to Rebecca, and Grant asked that great question. What should be there? The least amount to be effective. If they're going to segue to an appointment, you could go over to the seller qualifying questionnaire. Wonderful. I'm going to set this up. Just a couple questions. Paul likes to be properly prepared so he can bring, more information to help you. Boom, 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 boom. Get out of there, right?
Right.
Get out of there.
So was it a good tone though?
Yes.
Because I was trying, that's not Bubbly Sam.
Yeah.
I sent out 2 calls. There's one with Bubbly Sam and this is a serious Sam.
I'd almost like it somewhere in between. Okay, let's listen to the other one. Too bubbly sounds too much like a kid who has no authority. So I know what you're trying to do. Just like Heather, you're trying to adjust. Ladies, just don't over adjust. I don't want to lose you. I like you, people, the way you are, right? So the training is just to teach you to become aware of authority. And you did that. You did a good job there. But it's almost like you sound a little bit uncertain of the value in Paul in the latter part of the call. Otherwise, it's great. It's effective. Like, this is what I want. I want effective. That's what I want.
What's your take on her using the word listing plan versus seller plan?
Oh, I think it's, I mean, it's a 6 in one, half dozen in another if she's got a good momentum. I think you're right. You could test them both. I just don't think we get her worried about that. That's the way you and I would hear it. But I'd be careful not to go too far down with her on that. I wouldn't give her that advice. I wouldn't want her like stumbling over that when there's still some it's a good point, look at, I want to give you.
I asked for 2 reasons. A, the title of the report says seller, not listing.
Yeah.
And B, if they did just expire, the word listing sounds, oh boy, here it comes.
Yeah. Like I said, you're at a higher level of thinking, right? Because we do the job and we've done it for a long time and we're going in the house. I don't think you're wrong, but I wouldn't want her stumbling over that. You know, I agree with you. Listing plan. It's not a listing plan, by the way.
Right.
So it's probably an easy answer. Sam, it's not a listing plan. It's the home selling plan from A to Z, how to price it right, how to recondition it and stage it to move up the ladder and get it ready for marketing so that you can digitize it properly, syndicate it properly, push it around properly. That'll lead to the market making where Paul and the agents and we're in there, we're showing it, we're getting feedback and making adjustments. That leads to negotiation that we use the same math that, you know, he'll share with you when he visits with you to negotiate the best price on your behalf. And then we use a closing coordinator to close with care. See the difference? Right?
Right.
A listing.
I just say it because it kind of validates that whole point that you've been getting across, that everybody who's doing this job needs to see, they need to see these materials.
I think it's an excellent, I think the more I think about what you just asked me, the more right you are. Sam, it's a seller plan, the home selling plan. This is the whole plan that Paul customizes with his clients. And he'd be happy to do that for free with you if I can get him in, right? That's what you're thinking. Cool. Let me do this other one. I know I'm OT here today, but these are good and I don't want to leave you all hanging.
Hello? Hello? Hi, is this Miss Sue Honk? Yes. Hi, this is Sam. I'm calling from Cantu Group Real Estate. So we were just giving you a call because we saw your beautiful home online and we noticed it didn't sell. So we wanted to mail you something that will help you sell it the next time. May I do that?
What exactly are you going to mail?
Good.
So we were mailing a list of properties with pictures and details that sold in your price range while you were on the market. And we're also including a copy of our 7-step listing plan.
What company are you at again?
We're with Cantu Group Real Estate.
Sorry, could you say that again?
It's Cantu Group Real Estate. It's CANTU Group Real Estate.
Okay, I see. Okay, yeah, sure. You have my address, so.
Yes, I was going to confirm it. Is it 14729? So I'll mail that over, and we'll follow up with you in a week just to make sure that you received it. And since I have you on the phone, it looks like a great property. Why were you trying to sell it?
Oh, we just I was about to have a baby when we were trying to sell it, and then I guess we underestimated the time needed on market at that time last year, so we decided not to sell because the baby is coming up.
Oh, okay. And is the baby like already born? I know that was back in June, so you might consider relisting sometime this year.
Let her answer. Let her answer. Let her answer. You asked the perfect question. Oh, did you have the baby? But talk to her. You know what I mean? Is the baby already born? Like, who talks like that? Talk to her like she's your friend. Oh, great. Did you have the baby? You follow me, Sam?
Yep.
Like, come on. Like, who's that machine? You
But at the end of the day, what do I want?
Yeah. Well, yeah. You want connection. That's what you want. Because the more connection you want, the more she's going to like you and allow you to go. And she was suspicious. She asked a ton of questions. You did wonderful. You were slow. But see, again, what do you want should never supersede what she wants. She wants to be treated with respect. She wants to be listened to. She wants to be served. She's the hero. You're not. You'll get what you want as the guide if you stay focused on the hero. When you get transactional, starts to slip away from you just when you did all this good work, right? The second beat for you is the same thing as Rebecca. You're getting lost there. You're getting lost. It's becoming very transactional. Beautiful opening, wonderful patience, super job. I got one critique for you I'll get to in a second, but this is great. Let's listen to the rest of it.
Probably not this year because we have our hands full with 2 kids. Yeah. Probably gonna wait till the kid's a little older.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's fine. If you'd like, I will mail that over to you anyway. But we can send you market updates each month, just for you to know how it is. And if you do decide to do it sooner, you can contact us. You can call us or text us. So
please don't send me market updates each month because we are already getting those updates from a couple of
Several realtors.
companies. Yeah, yeah, I have enough
Okay.
of those.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Where'd you get that offer?
What offer, the market updates?
Yeah.
Well, that's what Paul told me to do when people are far out, just for us to have contact still
Yeah.
with the person.
Yeah. Paul has a bloated database. Yeah. Let's just get the package. Let's try to change the relationship and then make that offer in the second one. You're trying to do too much in the first call. She's already told you everything you need to know. Get the package out the door. Okay. Make sure she received it and then figure out what the appropriate follow-up is. Okay. I don't want a bloated database. I would think she's a viable candidate, but it sounds like she's really kicking the can down the road far out. And this is exactly what I just critiqued him on his 101 this week. His following up with someone for 5 years, and then he gave him to you. And it's just, we don't need all that. We don't need all that. That's actually hurting everybody who is serious about doing something in 9 months. I think you did a good job. I don't like the offer at the end. I wouldn't make something like that until the next side, because like you see it fell flat. It's not important. You've got her. Don't screw it up. Get the plan out. You told her what it was. Get it out the door. Let her see it. Because then when you call back, look, you see those things that you're getting? What we could do is send you not a market update, some nebulous crap. We could send you every time something new sells or goes pending in your area. So I printed you the list of what I had looking back while you were on, but we could send you only the solds and pendings as they happen. They'll be in your inbox. That's a valuable offer. Market updates, blah. And she threw up all over it. Blah. Everybody's doing that. I don't want you to be everybody. Crappy offer, kill it. Okay? Awesome. Good job, though. Good. I'm proud of you. Coming a long way. I like the experiment with the serious Sam, the happy Sam. Go somewhere in the middle. I don't get all weird like that, where you're trying to be, don't go changing that wonderful happy sound in your tone. Just stick to the, don't let happy Sam get carried away and start making up her own words. Right?
Yeah.
And
I think I sound so much as a little girl, right?
Yeah. For sure. Well, I think when you're nervous, your little girl, meter goes up, right? You lose confidence sounding. You don't sound like an authority. And I'm trying to teach you to be an empowered woman, right? I know you're a young woman, but I'm trying to teach you to become an empowered woman with powerful information and powerful offers. That's really what I'm after. I'm not after saying, you sound like a little girl. That's not what I'm doing. I'm saying, look, I love that tone. That jovial, inviting, it works every week. We can hear everybody engaging you week after week. So we know that wonderful, positive tone in your voice. What'll change it is simply understanding the value of the information, then listening. Well, what sounds right is I probably should have Paul either call you or come over and he could add his insights to the information. You need to understand what that looks like. And you need to go with Paul to an appointment the next time he goes to a house to shut up, listen, and watch, right? And learn. Wow, that's what you do? Now I know how to sell you. Geez, I was in a house with Paul the other day. You should see this insight's really super helpful. Now you become really attached to what you're selling or telemarketing, right?
Right.
Sam, you are a Spanish-speaking native. That's your first language, yeah?
No.
Okay, English first? You're bilingual.
First.
Okay, you're bilingual. All right, you have picked up a strange habit of using the word "see." Okay, where it's not appropriate, and it hurts your segues, and it makes you sound less authoritative, less empowered, and less professional. Try to become cognizant of eliminating that. It's what's called a word whisker. You're throwing it in there when you're trying to buy yourself a little bit of time, and you don't need it. Just slow down instead of saying the word "see." The reason I'm calling you, well, we don't speak like that. That's not proper English in that moment. And nobody's looking for us to speak the Queen's English, right, on these calls. Right. I'm not saying that. I would rather the conversational tone. But I've noticed over the weeks that word "see" gets in your way. You trip over it. And it makes you sound less professional.
Okay.
Cool?
Cool.
Excellent. Yeah. Good job. All right. Final questions for today, because I went way OT because these ladies are bold enough to go out there and get me the goods and let me work on them. So ladies, 5 gold stars today.
Danny?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I've just downloaded the Xmind script that Gail sent me and I've converted it to a PDF so that I could print it out so I could have it in front of me. And it's only on one page. Is there a way to like have it so that the print's not so tiny?
Oh,
I
you
mean,
just have to, you'd have to have somebody type it up. Just have her go onto Fiverr and just have somebody type it up for you.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
I just did a Word doc. It was pretty easy.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
Okay, I'll just type it
A
up then.
couple of minutes just to type it out.
Awesome, Heather.
Okay, I'll just do that.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
All right, gang. Go ahead.
I have a question.
GVD, go ahead first. Hold on. GVD.
Goal or B2 determine reason. So we get their motivation. If they're 10 or above, we offer to stop by, deliver the package, or a phone consultation.
Yeah.
If they're 10 or below, then what?
Well, I don't think it has to be a hard 10. I'm looking for a hard 10. Like I don't really want to go somewhere if somebody's not highly motivated. Maybe I'll take a 9 and I think I can solve the problem that that Autumn would root out for me. Okay.
Yep.
So, but I don't want you to go, all of you, I don't want you to go too black and white. I want that to be more intuitive, especially with all these ladies that are doing it. They have the power of their woman's intuition. That's where I expect them to use it. It's a tool, right? Women's intuition is a very powerful, well-known thing, right? It just listen, ladies, intuitively, whoa, this sounds like something I should segue, right? I should make that next offer grand. I give them the 1 to 10 for clarity because it's a question that allows the consumer to read their mind aloud. Oh, by the way, it looks like a beautiful home, re-compliment. Why are we trying to sell it? Quiet. And they all did a great job of that when they asked it. They let the people answer. They got big, thorough answers. Gee, then you go, gee, that's a pretty big reason on a scale of 1 to 10. How motivated do you think you are? Sam threw an 8 at the guy because we were all drowning with the slow pace the guy was having. So she threw out an 8, just to move him along. And so he bit sort of, right? But she already had the reason to divest. And so, back off of it. Well, she tried to close him, which I like. He had a big reason. I want to divest my property. Well, geez, why don't I just have Paul? She needs work on the upsell. Right? What is that value, as you heard me say, Grant? But other than that, it's like, they need to be intuitive in that moment, right?
Yep, gotcha. So, and if they are the number we want, our avatar, I mean, then if they're below that, well, hey, we'll get the package out to you and follow up in a week.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, say, look, why don't we get this package out to you? You're below it. I mean, what I would say, well, what do we say if they're below it? How come so low? Why even go through all this process if you're not a 10?
Okay.
Yeah. So why would you even go through the process of putting your house on the market and go through all that stress if you don't really have a reason why? Why are you doing this? See, I want them to all be trained well enough where they become this fuller version of themselves, where that confidence is there to speak with people as a true telemarketing guide, right?
Yeah. Interesting. I like it. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Ladies, did that make sense since you're all still here? Like I'm trying to get you up there where I can trust you even more to be authoritative in a less formalized way. You're talking to somebody, say, well, geez, you have a pretty big reason to sell. Why aren't you going right back on the market? Are you worried about something? Because I'm sure that, Heather, Paul, Gail, Chris, they could come out and really help you feel better about this. Are you sure you don't want me to have them come out? I mean, that's the way we really speak to each other when we care about each other. So see where I'm going, Sam? The more they know you care about them, the more likely they are to accept that visit. But if you're just sounding transactional with them, the less reason they have to think you care, right? So you follow? What I know what you're trying to do, but if you rush that, well, you rushed me. And for all the outside sales agents, that's what we do when we're trying to have a process during negotiation. As much as sometimes we have to rush our clients because there's multiple offers, it's a difficult situation, we may have to say, look, guys, you're going to feel rushed, but are you telling me you want that property? Because if you are, I'm going to go all in like a shark for you. And I go into a different mode. So be ready for me. I'll warm them up for that next level of trust where I'm about to take them. And we just won 2 for clients in the past 2 weeks. One, I said, we're going to bully the competition. You're going to go in full price, cash, and I'm going to tell the agent we're only looking for major items in the home inspection. And we're going to close in 3 weeks. And as soon as it got into the attorney, Monday afternoon, multiple offers began to roll in, but it was over. I had bullied away the competition. The next one was a multiple bidding war where there was all sorts of offers and all sorts of showings. And I kept talking to the agent, what is most important to them? And I'll guarantee you, I could tell the love they put into place. I said to my client, write a letter. And they said, 1, they love your letter. So 2, they're rooting for you to win. 3, I said to them, well, give me some guidance. I gave you an escalation clause up to 6. Anybody do something stupid yet? No. All right, I'm going to be certain. I'm going to give you 605. Done. Like I am that aggressive when the time is right, because by then they've trusted me. They've trusted me. They've trusted me. They've trusted me. And we give them math. We did an analysis that said on its tiptoes, this could be 617. So 605 is right in the math. And who cares? Because you told me you're going to be here for 10 years and we ain't making any more waterfront on a pond like this. Buy it. And that's what we did. Right? So
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Come on, Sam.
I have a question. It doesn't have anything to do with calls or stuff like that, but you said Paul has a bloated up system, right?
Database. Yep.
Database. Okay. I fixed that. That's why he has me. So I have that, and I have been separating buyers from sellers at first and everything. But for example, I've been calling, texting, email people, stuff like that. And I have a lot of people that are like, well, I mainly deal with Paul. What do I do?
Yeah. Well, we found out that you were with me on that call where I hammered him. I said, Paul, you set her up for failure with that one because you're sitting here playing, you're waltzing with this lady for 5 years. She has zero reason to do something. And he said, well, someday I'm going to, do something. And now they're so attached. I mean, you can't fix that. He caused that problem. So he shouldn't be giving you those leads. Or you just say, you can still talk to Paul, but it's my job to make sure you get the information that you want. But I think that's an example of a bloated database. That lady he's talking to, she likes the sound of his voice.
No, this is another lady, and this is a buyer.
Yeah.
So
and
I just texted everybody and said basically like, are you still interested in buying this year?
Yeah.
Just to know where they're at. People are saying no, maybe, yes, next year. So that's cool. But there's a couple of people that are like, well, Paul already knows. And for example, I would reply back, okay, well, are you happy with the listings we're sending you? I'm so sorry, I'm new. And they were like,
don't say I'm new. Don't say I'm new. Don't say I'm new. I'm Paul's partner on the back end. I'm the one that's responsible for getting you the right information. Are Paul and I sending you the right information?
Yeah. So I asked that.
And Paul needs to, hold on, stop. Paul needs to segue you better. That's Paul's responsibility. Hey, all, I have a new partner, Sam. She's taking care of all the back end. You can have me anytime you want, but she'll be reaching out. End of story. End of story. We don't need to go one by one with Sam fighting. He needs to identify to all those people he's been dealing with that you are his new coordinator and that you'll be reaching out to make sure all the information is there. But of course, anytime they want Paul, they can get Paul. That's his job.
Okay.
Yep. Because otherwise we're gonna have you going 1, 2, 3. Nah.
People are mean.
Yeah, no doubt, because they're not set up correctly, and you're interfering with their love affair with Paul, right? So and I'm not exaggerating. That's what relationship sounds like, though. They love him, and they're in deep with him, and they don't want him dumping them on you. But if he segues and say, look, I have a new partner on the inside. Her name is Sam. She's going to coordinate all this info so that I can be there for you to really lead you, right? Cool?
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, bravo. Good question. Any more? Guys are hot today. Any more?
Dan, are you jumping on with us after this or no?
No, I cannot. I'm loaded.
All right, I'll talk to her.
All right, gang. Enough of me. Everybody have a fabulous weekend. Go practice this stuff. I'd love to see some recordings with these adjustments. But those who participate rule the world. So ladies, the 3 of you who are right front and center today, you will rule the world. I should be hearing from everybody every week, and I don't. So I'll work on you 3. There you go. And I'm sure the 3 team leaders that you work with will be thrilled. All right, gang. See you later.
Thank you.
Bye, man.
Peace.
Thanks, Kenny.
You're welcome.
Thanks.